Okay, there we go. So I think we'll probably have some more people coming in, so I'll say hi to the nice and on-time people here. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello. So you don't have to put your camera on if you don't want to, but obviously it's better for me to not stare at myself, but that's totally up to you guys, of course. I will say I'm recording this so that people that can't come will be able to watch it later. So if that means you want your camera off, again, totally understand. It is nice when people talk as opposed to just using the chat, especially since this is going to be basically a Q&A, just answering any questions you have about how the photo class is going to work. If you have questions about the 52 weeks project, this is absolutely a place you can ask those as well. There's a lot of people here that do both. And we'll just kind of go over what it's going to look like, any questions you have, and then if there's anything you just want to talk about, this is a great place to do that. So first off, hi everyone. I'll just introduce myself quickly for those who don't know who I am. My name is Chelsea. I would call myself a documentary travel photographer just to make it extra pretentious sounding. But I tend to focus really heavily on color theory and composition. That's kind of my mode of being and my expertise for the class. We have some others who focus more on the tech and gear. Some of the other teachers are really interested and knowledgeable about that more so than myself. So keep that in mind when we talk about it. I am not up to date on gear. I don't know what the newest thing is. So just a heads up, but other people will. And then I see that we have a couple of mentors here. I see Anne and Vincent and Walter are here. Would you guys want to introduce yourselves as well?
I can go.
Thanks, Anne.
I don't have a webcam on my desktop, otherwise I would turn it on. So hi, I'm Anne. I started photography early 2000s. Grew up with a father who had a dark room in our basement, and started tinkering on with film when I was a teenager. Sort of fell away for a while and then picked it back up a couple years ago. Have no idea how I stumbled across 52 weeks, but that was my introduction to this Discord. And yeah, I actually did a sort of refresher myself with the Reddit photo class last year, so we'll be around. Also not a gearhead, but we'll be, lurking and reading people's assignments and giving feedback where necessary.
Thank you, Anne. I'll have to say, Anne is really a great resource for just having those general conversations and getting that feedback. And she was very active last year with the voice chats and things like that. So I think she's a really good role model for staying engaged, even if you get off track with the lessons, just staying engaged with the community. So thank you, Anne.
You can't see it, but I am blushing.
Oh, well, shucks. Oh, great. So we have other mentors are here as well. Does Vincent or Walter, you guys are still here, right? Yeah. Vincent, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can go. Hey, everyone. I'm Vincent, based out of the San Francisco Bay Area in California. Started photography maybe like 10 plus years ago, starting in high school with like a Sony point and shoot. Did a photography class, and that's kind of where I got into like using Canon and DSLRs back then. Currently using mostly Fujifilm and Minolta cameras. Most of my photography is done in, I guess you can call it street or maybe like photography of a life, and then some travel. So there's some examples on my website that I guess Chelsea will probably post later. Yeah. Pretty well versed in like the different techs and I guess different technology and cameras, computers, just hardware in general. If anyone wants to talk about any of that, I'm open to it.
Yeah, like I said, we have some gearheads. Great. Thank you, Vincent. So yeah, we do have gearheads here, so don't worry if you're one of those. Thank you, Vincent. And Walter, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I was still flying over Africa this morning, so I'm super tired. My accent is even worse than usual. And okay, so I'll keep it quick. I do travel and street photography mainly. I ended up doing a lot of poetry tour in Africa, and I just came back from Ethiopia. And yeah, that's the kind of photography I'm going to help with as much as I can over the year.
Great. Thank you.
And when I write, you don't have to suffer my accent, by the way.
I personally enjoy your accent, Walter, and I'm sure others here do as well. Yeah.
You're the only one.
Doubtful. And Walter is another great example of being very engaged with the community, as is Vincent. All the mentors really have been great over the past year. So thank you for that. And other mentors, Jake is here. Jake, would you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, guys. I'm not going to turn on my camera because my only webcam is an Xbox Live webcam from 2006. And if you saw it, I would be so afraid that you would think that's the photo quality that I'd be bringing to this photo class. So we're going to keep it off. But my name's Jake. I'm a new mentor this year, although I've mentored before on art photography for many previous years. Kind of dropped off the face of the earth because I was starting a new job and getting married and buying a house and just didn't have the time. But now I find myself with free time and would love to be back in it. So I'd be really happy to work with anybody who's kind of interested in a jack of all trades but master of none kind of thing. Someone who doesn't see themselves doing photography as a career but who wants to learn. You want to do portraits? I got you. I can get you to square one and get you through 101. You want to do landscapes? Maybe I can get you up to 301. You want to do cosplay? You want to do birding? You want to do astro? I'm happy to help anybody who just bought a camera for the first time, doesn't know what they're looking at, and needs somebody who can help them out. My 9 to 5 is that I'm a middle school teacher, so I work with 12-year-olds, so I promise there is no such thing as too dumb of a question. I get asked all kinds of ones that are actually dumb every day. Nothing you do is going to qualify, so I'm happy here for anybody who'd like to reach out, send me a DM. Happy to help.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for being a teacher. I know that's intense, so thanks, Jake. So yeah, you can see that we have more mentors as well. These are the ones that were able to come here tonight, but you'll see the mentors, they'll have their names in red. Are there any others here that I missed? I think that's everybody. Just looking at the list. If I missed you, please just say it right now. Okay, great. So you'll see their names are in red, so you'll know that they're a mentor. If you have questions, feel free to @ the mentors on your own post, or in under the class tab, there is a Ask Mentors channel, so you can pop anything in there and one of them will come in. We do have 2 other teachers too. I kind of want to just give you a little bit of insight as to what the difference is between the teacher and the mentor. So the teachers, there's just 3 of us. There's myself, Sean, who is based in Perth, and David, who is based in Louisville, Kentucky. Basically, we wrote the class together. It came from the original class that was written like 13, 14 years ago for Reddit, and we kind of used that as a launching off point. But as of this year, all the text is new. Last year, like 85 to 90% of it was us. So that's just the difference between the teachers and the mentors. The teachers, myself, Sean, and David, will also pop in for feedback, and we're here for questions and so on. But I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of who we are and how it's a little bit different. As far as mentors go, if you get through this year and you really enjoy it and you're really super engaged and you want to help mentor next time, let me know. We're always happy to have more. They do a lot, especially early in the year. So it's a lot of great volunteer work, and we really appreciate everything that they do. So that was my moment of corniness for the mentors. Let's get into what the class is, and then we'll go over some questions. So I'm just going to share my screen, and hopefully my recording still does it. I want to share. I don't use Discord very much, so let's show all windows. Okay, this one. Okay, so here's the class. Can everyone see it? I can't see you guys, so if someone
Yes.
can... Great, thank you.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Nice and big and bold. I went with big and bold this year. So this is where you're going to find the class. You can also find it on the subreddit, but I will say that especially this year, there's going to be a lot of multimedia that doesn't translate onto Reddit, that doesn't work on Reddit just because of the way Reddit is set up. So it's going to be much more beneficial to look at the class here on the site. So I'm sure some of you have already gone through the initial course, which is why it says retake course here. But basically you're going to find that every other week, there's going to be a new unit. Starting with January 1st, it's a Wednesday. The unit 1 will go live then. And in that unit, you will have multiple lessons. At the end of each lesson, there's an assignment. You're going to have that week and the feedback week to really kind of work on it. Some of the feedback we got last year, or even just what we saw, was that people, because of the short 1 week per lesson, some people were not having enough time, or for whatever reason weren't able to do an assignment, and then were really discouraged and just kind of stopped. So we really want to kind of help with that. We want to make sure that everybody is given time and support and encouragement to kind of get through the assignments as they can. I'll say to that as well, though, if you do miss a lesson for whatever reason, or you don't get an assignment in on time, it's okay to submit it late. Just know that the mentors are kind of going through as they come in. So if you get it in late, or if you're using film and it needs to be developed or what have you, and you get in a lesson late, that's okay. This is honestly for you. It's not graded. You're not getting college credit, so we can't be like extra strict on this. But it is, we want you to come back and continue doing the classes, so as best you can. So does anyone have any questions before we jump in?
So far, so good. Super interesting.
Super interesting. Wow, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just do a quick run through of how it looks, just so you know how to kind of navigate. It's going to be a little bit different each week, obviously, but you're going to have your lessons will look like this. There will be a video for each one. There's not a video right now. This is going to go up as a video for this Unit 0. But there will be a video for each lesson. Like I said, each unit is multiple lessons. There might be a couple pages per lesson. But as you read through them, you'll go through, you might see some drop-down menus, things like that. There are going to be some interactive elements that will be embedded in here. I don't have an example like right this second. I can actually get one and show you in a moment. I just don't remember what I named the URL for it, so I have to look it up. But there you go. So you kind of just navigate through it like normal. Here are the teachers. I'm covering half my face on purpose. And then we have Sean, who, like I said, is in Perth, and David is in Louisville. He, if you're into horse photography, equine photography, he's your man. If you're interested in astro, Sean is your guy. If you look at the astro channel, you'll see that he posted a time lapse from a shoot last night, which is really cool. So worth checking out. These are their portfolios and Instagrams, and there's mine too if you're interested. This is a lie right now. I've shot Fujifilm since 2015, but accidentally left it in New York and got on a plane to Turkey, and I couldn't get it to myself. So I ended up selling it, but was very lovely gifted a Sony. So right now I'm shooting Sony for the time, but my heart is with Fuji still, so we're gonna pretend that that's real. So let's continue on, and it's just like this. You'll see links like this. You can click on them. There will be videos and so on and so forth. It's pretty straightforward. You guys know how to use websites, obviously. So then your assignments will always be formatted this way. You'll see what to do. There will be information. It's usually one photo, but there are some that will be sharing multiple photos for whatever reason. So that's something to keep in mind. We will have this little donate button. Again, this is a totally free class. Do not feel like you need to donate. It's really just to help us cover like the fees of the website, and then the multimedia things that I'm producing, that software is expensive. So if you want to donate, you can, but it's a totally free class. So don't feel like you have to just because you see that button, and we're not pressuring it in any way. So that's it. That's the basics of it. Here is the syllabus. Actually, let me show you the full syllabus. So you guys already have gone through Unit 0 or just saw it just now. The first unit that we're going to see on January 1st is going to be pretty holistic. It's just going to be about why we're here. And then it's going to give you some information on where you can search for inspiration, how to give and receive feedback. We are going to go into more depth on both of these topics later on, but this is just kind of an introduction so that you're prepared to like interact with cohorts and peers and mentors and so forth. Your assignment will be kind of related to the one from this class. So the first unit is quite, I think, a nice like toe in, if you will. Then we have our feedback weeks. These are going to be every other week. So again, you have an assignment. It's not really technically due, if we can use that word, until the following unit. So during feedback weeks, we will have these live chats. There's one I've already set up for every Wednesday. That's at a time that I'm available, but other people will be running them on different days, hopefully. And they'll just be little chats to see, like, you can get feedback on what you're doing. You can ask questions if you're kind of stuck on anything. That will be available to you every other week. When I say that, I also wanted to just reinforce that you can always kind of pop into the voice chat if you want to send a message in the lounge and be like, hey, anyone want to go on the chat and edit together or look at some photos I have. The more people that are involved and the more people that come together, the more that's going to happen organically. And I would love to see that happen more organically. So if it's something, you're sitting around, you're bored, you have some photos, you want to bounce off people, by all means, like, say, hey, does anyone want to go into the voice chat and head on in? But we will have these scheduled ones as well. Then after the first feedback week, we're going to go into the gear. This is the really techie unit about what is a camera. That sounds really simple, but we do kind of go into it in depth, different types of cameras. And then we talk about lenses and focal length, the difference of RAW and JPEG, why would you use one over the other? And then we go into digital workflow. We do this early on because we want to make sure that you're set up early with your workflow so that when we get deeper and you have hundreds of photos, you're not like, well, what am I supposed to do with all of this? So we want to make sure that you're kind of set up for success for the rest of the time. Okay, so that's the gear. That's the techie part. That's the part that we felt kind of dragged on too long last year. So we're really happy to kind of be able to truncate it and get you guys into the more, well, I say more fun stuff, but I'm sure plenty of you find this fun. So I won't tell on myself there. And then the next unit is photography basics. This is going to be, your settings, your exposure triangle, your histogram, as well as the normal, the three main settings that we deal with, as well as some advanced techniques with those. Again, there's going to be videos and multimedia in all of these as well. After that, we get to my favorite, which is the art of photography. We're going to be talking about light, which is obviously very important in photography. So we're going to talk about light, and then we're going to talk about compositional guidelines and color theory. Those are my two big things, so I'm very passionate about these, and I'm very excited. I have a lot of cool stuff in the works. Well, I think it's cool, but you might not. But I have some cool stuff in the works for both of these classes, these lessons that I'm really excited about. So looking forward to showing you guys. Then we're going to get into post-processing. Little disclaimer, we are not going to speak directly about one software over the other. I know a lot of people don't want to be spending a whole bunch of money on software. Subscription-based is hugely contentious, so it's not important what software is being used. It's more about the actual process. So don't stress if you're not running Lightroom or Capture One or whatever. That's not really important. If you're using just your phone, the editing tools on your phone are going to be similar to what we talk about here. So again, this is very accessible for everybody. And there's going to be like a real-time processing where you're going to actually see processing happening in real time and be able to kind of follow along. Then we get into the decision process. This is all about your final project. We're going to talk more about the final project in a moment, but this whole thing is going to culminate in a way for you to kind of take all your ideas together and put them into one big project at the end. So we're going to start talking about that here. And this is also where we're going to touch again on the inspiration and my other favorite, the visual narrative. So these are things that we'll talk about then. Again, there's some cool stuff in the works for that I'm really excited about that the people last year did not see, so I apologize. But you'll have it this year available to you. Okay, then we're going to get into inspiration. This is more in depth about how to find and inspire yourself. Motivation is a huge, huge, huge problem within the photography community, and inspiration. You can go out with all the enthusiasm in the world and then by March 26th be like, well, I don't know what to do now. So this is going to give you the tools to be able to say, well, this is what I'm going to do now. Then we have some more tech stuff, getting in deeper with the tech stuff, and some more advanced settings in your camera and flashes as well. So if you're interested in off-camera flash or even your on-camera flash, this is the unit for you. And then we're going to start on our personal projects. So don't stress about these yet because we're really kind of giving you the tools to think about them, how to come up with one, how to brainstorm it, how to plan it, the actual project planning portion of it we're going to talk about. If we have any project managers out there, you're going to be old hats at this because that's kind of how the approach that we take with it. So this is really just to get you started on this. Then we get in deeper with the art of photography. So you'll see these are just part 2 for lighting, composition, and color. So even more information about that, more deeper, more advanced information. Unit 11, which is May 21st. This is, again, about exploring what you do, but also challenging yourself to try something new. So we're going to be looking at different genres that maybe you haven't thought interest you. It's also kind of nice to get some practice on things that don't interest you because maybe you'll learn a technique that will help in what you are actually interested in doing. Then we come to the conclusion, which is where we put everything together and talk about what the next steps look like. We do have some stuff in the works. I don't know if it will be done by then for next steps, but it will be done. I hope by July we'll have some going forward courses that will be available. But for the moment, this is kind of just to set you up to start thinking, to actually getting into your final project. And then the final week, we'll be sharing what you have. No one expects you to be done with a project, but just talk about what you have in mind, or if you've done any shots for it yet, that's when you're going to share those with your peers and your mentors and the teachers. So I just said a whole bunch of words at everyone. Does anyone have any questions?
So far, so good. I'm super eager to start it off. It seems very nice and varied in all the teaching that you guys have to offer.
Great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, both that you spoke up and also that you feel that way. So thank you very much. Okay.
Yes. I think you could give like a big picture example of like what a final project would be, like what is a project in this context?
Yes, absolutely. So some projects that were kind of thrown around before, things like a zine or a photo series, or some people really just wanted to make, 3 photos that they felt proud to print and put on their own wall. Personal projects are really broad on purpose because everybody has their own goals. So when you're setting your goals, which is part of the Unit 0 and Unit 1, think about like, what do you actually want? A lot of people maybe want to make a business out of it. So maybe your project is getting one maybe trade for pics, shoot under your belt. Or if you just want to have it as a hobby, maybe you want to be able to make a photo book of family photos that you can print and keep for yourself. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, I see some questions in the chat. I'm just going to go through. If we are not able to attend any of the feedback meetings for whatever reason, can we still receive feedback? Yes, I will get into that. Or can we receive? Yes, absolutely. So you should be expecting to receive feedback when you submit your photo under the assignment. What is it? Class assignments. I think I renamed it recently. So under the photo class tab, you have class assignments. That's where you're going to post your photos. And when you post them, mentors will come in, other peers will come in, and you will be receiving feedback there. So the meetings are really just it's like supplemental feedback, and I find a lot of the times it's easier to give and receive by doing it in person. Okay. Just want to say for post-processing, I use Fastone Image Viewer, totally free and can handle RAW files. Thank you, Caddis. I will add that to our list because I actually do have a list of software. That one is not on it, so I'm just screenshotting that and I'm going to add it to the class. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Can you submit old photos or only new ones? This is a great question, Kim. So this question came up with the 52 Weeks project as well. The idea, I'm going to put this in like big parentheses. The idea is that you take the assignment, or in the case of the 52 weeks, you take the prompt and you make something new with it in mind. So we would really encourage you to be submitting only new photos. If you have a photo that you think suits it, that you want to share as well, please do. You can share it in the photo class lounge or under community, there's showcase. I would say as far as like assignments go, we do want to see new photos. Okay. All right, so I just want to clarify, since I missed the first 5 minutes, the bulk of the class is on the website. So Jared, yes. The reason being is that there's going to be a lot of multimedia elements that don't work on Reddit. So they are going on the website. So the text and the images and the videos will also be on Reddit, on the subreddit. But the interactive stuff, which I've worked really hard on and I'm really proud of, will only be on the website. Okay, where are we? For first timers, is it best to do the photo class over 52 weeks? If you are new to photography, the photo class is for you. If you are not brand new, but you want to just make sure that the knowledge that you have is complete, or you want to just check your own knowledge, the photo class is great. 52 weeks is for anybody. There is no level associated with 52 weeks. I'll give you a little history of it. I started it in 2019 just for myself because I was feeling kind of uninspired. I was pregnant and COVID was happening and all this, stuff was going on. And I just wanted to give myself something to do. So I started doing it and posting it on Instagram with my own hashtag for it. And then it kind of exploded from there. But the idea is honestly just to get you out shooting. So 52 weeks is a great companion piece to the photo class. If you are new and you just check it out once in a while, you don't have to commit to it the same way if you don't want to, but it's always there. So again, no level for 52 weeks. And Anne answered that pretty well. So I should have read ahead. What Anne said is true. Okay. And yes, Anne makes a good point that sometimes the prompts do help with the assignments. Occasionally they do overlap, especially in the beginning of the year, because 52 weeks often starts with the same make a goal kind of thing. Yeah, so Kim is saying maybe sometimes there's no time to produce a new photo. Absolutely. Again, there's no, there's no grading, there's no watching who's submitting and who isn't. So if you don't get an assignment done on time, that's completely okay. Do it for yourself when you can, even if you can't and you have to skip a week, that's fine too. If you do have a photo that kind of fits the assignment, but you don't have time to make a new one, again, feel free to share it. Maybe just putting it in the note like, hey, this is an older photo, but I've really thought about it, and just, how it kind of aligns with what we're doing. It's really a good practice as well to just kind of think about what you're doing and why, and using it from that.
I will say, though, that in the beginning, especially with some of the more fundamentals, like the aperture or there's some that there's the benefit of, I think, redoing it or doing it, not using an old photo to compare those ends. So use your best judgment. Obviously, there are some lessons that are more geared, I think, towards maybe thinking about an old photo rather than putting it into practice for yourself in the moment. Yeah,
I completely agree. I think that the way we design it and the way that we design the assignments is incredibly intentional. It's meant to build off of the other. So even if it's something that you're super comfortable with, just doing it with the assignment in mind, you might find that it's good practice. You might find that you tried something new or different. So it's definitely worth doing. But again, Kim, if you don't have time, don't stress it. You can skip a week with the assignments. Just try to read the lessons at the very least and go through it all. But it's okay. No one is grading. Any other questions?
For me, it's not much of a question, but I just want to take the time to share my appreciation for the class and everything, because I see all the work that's put out there. So all of you guys, the mentor, the teachers, who are taking their time and money, everything to offer us quality like that, it's very appreciated, because I know time is very precious resources for everyone. So I'm sure I'm not talking just for myself here. So thanks again.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I am seconded. Oh, you guys are nice. Thank you. I would say, I have to just throw out some appreciation to the mentors as well, because we're all volunteering. This is a nonprofit in every meaning of the sense, net negative. So I have to say thank you to all the mentors as well for giving their time. I know it can be very a lot of work, especially again in the beginning. And I say that because it does, I want to see the engagement throughout the term. I think the 6 months truncated thing should keep everybody engaged. So please, just try to stick with us. If you miss a week, it's okay. Just come back. If you miss 2 weeks, it's okay. Continue engaging with the community. Doing it at your own pace is fine as well. Any other questions or thoughts?
For submitting the assignments, is there a preferred route on Discord versus the Reddit?
No, there's more. Yeah, that's a good question. There's definitely more mentors trolling the Discord. Trolling is the wrong word. There's definitely more mentors on the Discord. But you can absolutely, if you're more comfortable with Reddit, that's a great place to partake as well. It does tend to be more engaged here, especially as it goes on, just because of the live timing thing, but there's no preferred. That's really up to you. Yep. I want to show you guys, think about any more questions you have. I'm still here, but I wanted to show you guys the learning journal. Mine came today. I'm super happy with it. I made it smaller this year so that you could throw it in your bag. Last year it was quite big because I was afraid that the pictures wouldn't fit in it, but I think they fit pretty well in here. So I just want to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. So we have information about the class, but then you'll have each unit is in here. And then the lessons, there's a space in the lessons. So you can, you guys know that unit 0, you know what that looks like already. So there's a place to write your goals. There's a place to put your photo that you're proud of, the ones that you're sharing. some people just kind of print them out on like a home printer. I don't know who has a home printer anymore, but that's an option. You can also kind of just like put a little note for yourself what your picture is, and then maybe at the end print them all out to put in here. But you'll see each unit, there's unit 1. Each unit will have space for the lessons, and then you will also have a space for the assignment there, as well as space for notes in each unit. So there's the notes. And then at the end, you can see the end, there's a lot of extra space for the personal project. So this whole chunk right here is all for you to take notes about what you're doing for your personal project. It's a good place to kind of brainstorm, write in your progress, because again, we don't expect anyone to be done with it at the end of this, but it's just kind of a place to kind of keep your own notes there. So there's the learning journal. It's up for, if you want the physical copy, you can get it. I have it set to the lowest price that the printer will allow. So it's not, again, there's no profit here, but if you use this code as well, holiday 30, there's another 30% off. So like, I think I paid like $3 for it, but I got it at the rate. So maybe it's like $5-6. It's not crazy expensive. I don't know how long that code will work. I literally Googled like Lulu, which is the printer coupon code, and happened to find it because that's like in my habit. If you don't want to buy one, which is totally fine, there is a PDF version available. You'll find the link on the class. So anytime you see the Learning Journal mentioned, there should be a link for the PDF version as well. And then one thing I did want to show everybody was just kind of an idea of what the multimedia looks like. But I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment because I have to find it. And then I will bring it back. If you have any questions, now is a good time to ask as well while I try to find this.
Is there anything as a good future student we could do to prepare for the first class in the meantime? I guess to keep engaged with the community must be one of the...
Yes. That's huge. I know that sometimes people will come in like early in December getting ready for January, and then by the time January comes around, they're like, oh, I forgot about this or whatever. So yeah, being engaged in the community, asking questions. Don't feel like you have to wait for a unit. Like if a question comes up, utilize the community. There's so many knowledgeable people in here, not just the mentors, but there are so many people that have a wealth of knowledge that if you have any questions, this is a great place to ask. So staying engaged with the community, start playing with your camera. If you're new to your camera, start playing with it. Try to understand where all the buttons are and what they do. Take as many photos as you can. The holidays are coming. It's a great time to like spam your camera and just take every photo imaginable and just be excited. Like honestly, like get excited about what you want to do. Really think about your goals, what you want to do for your goals and so on, and just start thinking about them, start getting excited about them.
Mind if I add in one thing?
Can I?
Please, Jake, and then Anne. Yeah.
Go for it, Jake.
Just for anybody who is just getting their camera, who's brand new, I would recommend, if you don't already have something like a website or an Instagram or a Flickr or whatever, make one now so that as you learn and as you take photos, you can upload them and you can kind of see your progress over the years. I love being able to go back to my Flickr from 2011 and see my first absolutely garbage HDR vomit photos that I took. Sometimes when you grow slowly, it doesn't feel like you're growing at all, but if you make one, it's nice to be able to look back. So if you don't have one, I'd say make one today.
Yeah. My Flickr I've had since 2004, like a crazy person. So God, you can imagine what that looks like if I go back in my timeline. It's a mess.
Be right back. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, great. They're private. So good luck, Jake.
They got me.
And what did you want to say?
I think I just want to put this out here early, I guess, is just in terms of what you can do now before the class starts. Like if you take a picture, if you just put like a little blurb on like your intention or what you were trying to do, or ask a specific question, that really helps us in terms of feedback, because often, a photo is posted and just like feedback welcome. And it's like, well, sometimes it's hard to tell from the photo what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
And so I can give all the feedback I want. It may or may not be helpful. So if you have a specific question, like, oh, I was really struggling with the autofocus, or, you know, I was struggling with like getting using, you know, it's too dark or something like that. Like just being as specific, or just even writing a small sentence about what the intention of the photo was when you post a photo is very, very helpful. And I think will help you more than anything keeping your momentum.
Yeah.
Because often people will post a photo and they'll just say feedback, open question mark, and then they get nothing or no engagement. And then that's discouraging. So I know from my time into class that it was always the times I asked specific questions is the time that I got the most out of those discussions.
Yeah. And if it's okay, I'm just going to piggyback, oh my God. I can't believe I said that. I'm just going to add to what Anne said. I would also say that once you do get feedback, whether it be from a mentor or a peer, be responsive to that as well, because it's just as motivational for them to give you feedback if you're engaging with it. So if somebody says, oh, you know, this is really great, let me help you with this, or this, even just like oh, that's great, I didn't think about that. You know, it doesn't have to be super thoughtful, but it is helpful for everybody to kind of have a conversation about it. Can I post edited photos? Yes. Everybody has their own modus operandi about editing. So if you are a heavy editor, feel free. There's no rules here. There's no camera snobs here, photo snobs here. So yes, if you love to edit, go for it. If you don't love to edit, go for it. We're going to talk more about that in the RAW versus JPEG section, but absolutely. And your fear of rejection, that's super normal. We all have it. I have it. Okay. Thank you, Alex. We'll get back to that. You know, I don't like posting my stuff. I get nervous too, just like everybody else. So I think what you want to know is that this community is the most supportive photography community I have ever seen. And like, it is incredibly, incredibly humbling to see that my goal was for this to be a supportive community, and that it remains so, is just astonishing and like brings so much pride to me. So posting here, you absolutely don't think about it. If you post on Instagram and you're afraid to post on Instagram because maybe you won't get a lot of likes or anything, one thing I would suggest doing is honestly just turn off likes count. You can do that in the advanced settings. Every time you post, go to advanced settings, turn it off. It's not good for your mental health. Shut it off. And then don't think about it when you get those likes in or you don't get them. Just don't. That's not what it's about, right? It's not about the likes. It's not about the follows. It's not about any of that. It's about the enjoyment you get out of it. So trying to put your mind in the other way, like it's not about the rejection. Don't think about it that way. Think about, this is what I want to do. We have a whole unit about being comfortable sharing your photos. Just put yourself in a different mindset about it, and don't stress it. It's all for fun, right? And then Alex asked if Gen AI can be used. I'm not even gonna humor you, Alex. He's such a troll. Go ahead and use the tools that are available to you. It's fine. We have tools. You do you. This is for you. And I see some more typing happening, so I'll wait a second and then I'm going to share with you guys. Take his photos for him. Great. See, supportive community. We will take the full for you.
That so much. Thank you.
Pleasure, anytime.
Okay. If you still have questions, keep them in mind. I just want to quickly share with you guys what these multimedia ones will look like. Can you tell me if you can see this? My web browser? No.
I see your Discord.
Okay. Hold on. What about now?
I see the Discord window.
Just the Discord window. Okay.
Yeah, so far.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
That's it. It's just when you share your screen, I think there's an option of sharing either your screen, your full screen, or just one window
Yep,
per
I
se.
hit the
So if you
wrong
make
button.
full screen, it will be on whatever you're looking at, so you should be good with your browser after.
Yeah, see, I hit make a selection and I went to share. Okay, hold on. There we go. I just hit the wrong button. Oh, it won't let me switch to that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of what these interactive. Can you see it now? I just assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oui, oui.
Okay, sorry about the music. That is David made that little jingle for us. Props to David. He is also an audio genius. So just kind of an idea. I'm just going to go through this really quickly. I'm going to turn off the sound because there's a lot of nonsense here. And they won't all have this, like, type your name. I'm in a graduate program as an instructional designer, and this is something I built for that, but I'm building things similar for us. So you're kind of going to go through and there's going to be things you can interact with in different various things. So if we're in the tech section, for example, we're going to be looking at the different parts of the camera and you'll be able to interact with them. This was made for compositional guidelines. So you'll see there's information that you'll be able to get more information about. And again, this is just an example. Oh, and there's the third one. I have to go through them because for class I had to make it so they locked out. So I'm just showing you quickly what that will look like. And this is the kind of stuff there will be. They won't all be this intense and this big. Some of them will be just quick interactions just to kind of give you an idea of something that we're talking about and allowing you to interact with it. Which I think is really important. Last year, some of the feedback we got was like, oh, it's a lot of text. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Actually, it is a lot of text. And you'll see things like you can write in, what you think about the piece, for example. There's all this interaction. I'm just going to kind of go through these quickly because I just want to kind of show you a little bit more. And we are going to spend some time like learning about other photographers and the history of some of these people that, will be, I think, something that a lot of people miss out on. And then you'll see things like this where it's like, okay, how can we make this look good, with what we just learned? And there's more information there, that kind of thing. So we're just interacting with it as such. So anytime you see an info, that's really it. And then there will be like little quizzes in here as well. I just want to get to those so you can see, like, this is the kind of quiz that you will find. And if you get it, there you go. And then things like this, like multiple choice questions and stuff like that. Okay, there's a whole bunch of these, so I'm not going to go through them all because I think there's like 10 of these now. So that is what that will look like. The notes, Alex, that's a good question. Alex asked if the notes get saved. Unfortunately, because of the way that we are running the class on my website, no, we would need a learning management system, which we don't have right now, and they're crazy expensive. So no, so maybe you want to take down your own notes. Those are kind of just there to get you like thinking in real time. Is there a way to post anonymously on a Discord thread? I don't know. Does anyone know? I want to say no. I don't think so. You can always make like a second account like as a throwaway, I guess, because I don't think you can. Okay, I think there's a couple other people saying no. All right. What other questions do you guys have?
During the feedback weeks, you said that there are going to be live chats. Are there's going to be like this, like voice channel, or is it going to be text based?
It will be here, like in the voice channels. Yeah, and anyone can drop in and out as they want. Anything else that I can answer? Or any comments? Great. Well, I am very, very excited about this year. Like I said, I'm in a graduate program learning how to do just this. So this is something I'm really passionate about in addition to photography. So I'm incredibly excited, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys do with it and what changes I can make and so on as we go on. If you want to be in touch with me directly, feel free to send me a DM here, or, I'm on Instagram and now Blue Sky, and not super into it all, but I'm there and you can find me, and send me a message anytime. I'm happy to answer. You also have your mentors to lean on. I believe David will be popping in the voice chat later as well. He couldn't come to this. So if you see him, you have other questions, and you see him in the voice chat, feel free to pop in there and talk to him. But we're here for you. And Inktober for Photography is how you found this? No way. I had no idea. That's cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. I assume everyone found it on Reddit, so it's nice to see that it comes around other places as well. And yeah, if you want to share, honestly, the more people we have engaged, the better this whole project goes. So please share that you're doing this, or, tell a friend that maybe is interested in photography. Get as many people as you can in here, because really the success of it is very, very contingent on everyone participating. So, any other final thoughts or questions? And I'm going to put this video up. I warned you guys in the beginning that if you had your camera on, it would be that. So I'm going to put this video up for other people to see as well. If you want to reference it back, please do. Again, if you have questions, just come to me directly or any of the mentors. If you are comfortable posting questions publicly, please do. If you have a question that you'd rather ask privately, that's cool too. This is like a very judgment-free zone. I'm very proud of how supportive everybody is. So let's keep it that way. You guys seem like you will, so I'm stoked on that. And really looking forward to seeing everything. Is there a calendar that lists all the dates of everything? There's the syllabus that says the dates of the new units. And then in the top left-hand corner on Discord, if you're on the web version, you'll see the events are always there. If you're on your phone, I think it's at the top. So you'll see upcoming events there. The video will be on YouTube and on the website. So I'm going to add this video to the Unit 0 under the FAQ section. So you'll find it there, and then it will also be on YouTube. So if you could also subscribe to us on YouTube. That's a great way to see the videos that will be in the lessons. All right. Anything else before we say goodbye for me, it's the evening. I imagine for a lot of you, it's the daytime. I see some other Europeans here, though, so. I see a couple people typing, so I'll just wait a second. And then I'm super playing Fortnite for the rest of the night, so. Because I'm a 12-year-old.
Son's got a Switch for center class, and there is nothing more frustrating than trying to teach a 5-year-old how to play Mario Kart.
So our 4-year-old is like crazy good at Mario Kart. I don't understand. He's like, he's very good at it, but he's not good at anything else. We were playing Fall Guys earlier today, and he just kept walking off the edge. So he doesn't understand the, like the moving up and down view of a lot of games now. So he'll press like on the Switch, he'll press like the camera view around, and he'll be like, why am I just looking at the sky? Like, just stop doing that. just don't do that.
So frustrated that he wasn't moving. I'm like, dude, you gotta press A.
Press A.
You're not gonna do anything. Press A.
Just press A, guy. Kids, man.
Am I the only one who's playing Satisfactory?
I don't know that. So maybe.
Like Factorio?
Probably.
I've played Factorio, but not Satisfactory. But I saw a lot of friends playing, and it's quite a job on itself, almost. It's quite
mind blowing.
I have to look that up. I don't know that. Have you heard of that, babe? Is it Satisfactory? You said.
Satisfactory.
Have you heard of that game?
You basically land on a planet and you turn it into a gigantic factory, just the entire planet.
Wow, that sounds actually...
By building belts and construction machines that are bigger and bigger and bigger, and you create this larger scale factory that basically covers all of the available land. It's like the most anti-environmentalist game ever made.
Wow.
But it's a puzzle game at heart. You're supposed to optimize the production and also make it look good.
Ooh, I like that.
So there's an artistic and a technical part to it.
Like photography, full circle.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, actually, yes, you're right.
Yeah. Well, we'll check those out. Thank you for sharing that. I hadn't heard of that. I like Papers, Please. I know that's kind of old-timey now, but I really like Papers, Please. That's a fun one to play. But cool. All right. And yes, if you're dealing with the storm, like I'm in Kent right now, and it's actually not so bad. It's just really windy. So if you're in the west of the UK, good luck. I hope you don't lose power. Yeah, the sea doesn't look great, but otherwise it's really just windy where I am. So good luck. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. I will see you guys in the Discord, and I will see you at the live events, and hopefully hear your voices some more and see your photos. Really excited to see what you guys do. So thank you all.
Thanks again for putting this together.
Thanks, Jake. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Fran. This is going to be really cool. I'm very excited.
I'm excited. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And again, spread the word. More people, the better. All right. If you want to hang out here and chat, you can. I'm going to head out, but this is open for you. So thank you all, and I will see you guys soon.